So the talk of Bill Belichick to the Atlanta Falcons has heated up a lot this week, with him meeting with them 2 separate times. It came out in the past hour from Diana Rossini that he is their top candidate. The Atlanta Falcons have Bill Belichick as their top candidate, flying him into Atlanta on one of Arthur Blank's private planes last night. Dinner last night, more meetings to come per multiple sources. If you are the Atlanta Falcons, I think signing Bill Belichick on as your head coach is a no-brainer. It's not every day that you get the chance and the opportunity to bring in the greatest head coach in the NFL of all time. And when you look at the Atlanta Falcons team, they were 7-10 last year with one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They are, I think, one quarterback away from being a very competitive roster. And the fact that they were, nearly making the playoffs this past season with Ritter starting 13 games, I think that if they can get a QB in there, they could win the NFC South for years and years to come. You look at their offense, they have so many talented players with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and they have, I'd say, a top 5, top 10 offensive line. And so if Bill Belichick can go in there, take their defense to another level, which I think was pretty good this past season. If you look at EPA per play, they were 10th in the NFL. They went from 26th in yards per play to 7th this past season. So they have a good amount of pieces on defense, and I think that bringing Bill Belichick in, a defensive guru, that you could take that defense to another level. And I think that when you have this opportunity to get a guy like Belichick, you can't pass it by. Sure, there are other options, other guys who could find success here, but when you have a guy of Belichick's caliber, I don't think you pass up on this. And it does come down to quarterback, because as we've seen in New England over the past couple seasons, without a pretty solid offense, the Patriots have not found success, and they were willing to move on from Bill Belichick. And so I would assume the conversations that Belichick is having with the Falcons, obviously it regards the entire team, the entire roster, what Belichick would want to do. But I think the biggest discussion hinges around the quarterback position, because if you don't find a quarterback, doesn't matter how good your defense is, you need a quarterback. And there are lots of options the Falcons have. One, you draft one at pick number 8. The reason that I don't know if that's the best idea is because Belichick is pretty old now. Who knows how much longer he's going to coach? Are you willing to risk hitting on a quarterback? Because we've seen over the past, 10, 20 years that drafting a guy in the top 10, it's not a given that this guy finds success. I think the solution for the Falcons that makes more sense is finding a veteran quarterback that can come in to Atlanta and quickly take this offense to the next level. A guy like Kirk Cousins makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. He said recently when asked about playing with Belichick, he said this: "I'm not going to turn down an opportunity to play with a future Hall of Fame coach. We'll have to see where March leads," Cousins told CBS Sports. "It's just a lot of unknowns right now." So if you put Belichick on the Falcons as a head coach and you were able to somehow get Kirk Cousins, that's a competitive team. And when you look at the NFC South, the Buccaneers have played pretty good, but I'd still say it's one of the weaker divisions in the NFL. And I think that's probably one reason Belichick wants to go there. He could really take over if all things go according to plan. And then, too, when you look at what would Bill Belichick do on offense, one thing that I saw floating around, I was reading through Reddit, one idea is bringing in Josh McDaniels. He did not find success with the Raiders as a head coach, but in his time with the Patriots over the years of Tom Brady, they had some of the best offenses in the NFL. And if you look at Josh McDaniels in his final season with the Patriots, which was Mac Jones' first season, it was the best year of Mac Jones' career, and the Patriots had the 6th best scoring offense in the NFL. So it wouldn't be shocking if Belichick brought in McDaniels, who was fired by the Raiders, and potentially brought in Jimmy Garoppolo as an option. I saw people floating around. That's an interesting idea, considering just how much talent this Falcons offense has. Garoppolo thrived in San Francisco when there was a ton of talent around him, and he did not find a lot of success in Las Vegas, but I think that there are a lot of pieces here in Atlanta, a very solid offensive line. Maybe that even makes sense. So I do think if you're the Falcons, you got to go for Bill Belichick. It's not every day you get this kind of opportunity, and if he comes into Atlanta, it's a complete culture change, just like with Aaron Rodgers going into New York with the Jets, even though he got injured. It changes the culture. It changes the atmosphere. Same with Brady going to Tampa Bay. If you bring a guy with the caliber of Belichick into Atlanta, I think that automatically expectations change. There's a shift, and I think there's a belief that you can do more than you've done in past years. So we'll see if it comes to fruition. If you want more NFL content like this, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.